Hello you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's a very fun, exciting video. I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I've read in January and all the books I'm planning on reading in February. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm back into reading again. I took a little time off of reading and I'm just back. Like, I'm so excited to be back. I'm loving reading recently. I've been reading all these romance books and I'm just obsessed. I'm so excited. So let's get into the video. Make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social medias as well. I first want to preface this video as I was not a big reader, so I totally understand if reading is intimidating. Personally, I'm not someone who can read something super hard. I can't read something that has all these words that I don't know and stuff like that. So I don't want this to scare you. I want you to pick up one of these books because I'm telling you guys, they're such easy reads. All of them that I've read so far, I really enjoyed and I feel like I could read them over and over. So yeah, I want to encourage anyone who's never read a romance book or anything like that to pick up a book and try to read, because it may be your new favorite thing, because it definitely was my new favorite thing. So let's start with the January wrap up. So for January, I read 4 books. So I'm pretty proud of myself for reading 4 books. This is my January wrap up. Let's start with the first book I read because that just makes the most sense. Reminders of Him. This is by Colleen Hoover, which Colleen Hoover is very popular on TikTok. That's how I found her first book, which is It Ends With Us. I've talked about It Ends With Us before, but Reminders of Him was so good. I was hooked immediately. I almost liked this better than I liked It Ends With Us. I don't know. I just thought it was such a good book. This one I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I am in love with the characters. You fall in love with the characters so easily. You feel for the characters. It's a little more emotional. It's a young mother who's fighting to earn a place in her child's life after being in prison, and she's in prison because of an accident that happened with her and the boyfriend at the time, which is the baby's father. So she's fighting to get back into the daughter's life. So yeah, it's really interesting and fun, and it's a romance. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I think it's such a good book. So if you're wanting to read a Colleen Hoover book, this was such a sweet, sad book. If you want something a little bit more sad, this one is so good. So good. So that is the first book I read of January. My second book was November 9th. And I know you're thinking, that's a lot of Colleen Hoover, which is true. I had these books from May because I got them for my birthday and I literally just didn't read them. I know, I'm so ashamed of myself. But November 9th, guys, I was there's not a better book than Reminders of Him. There's not a better Colleen Hoover book. Then I read this. Immediately hooked me in. So good. It's about a girl who is she was an actress and she got burned, and so she has all these scars and stuff like that. It kind of ruined her career. She's young, 18. And she meets this boy who comes and pretends to be her boyfriend. She needed help in a situation and he helps her out, and then they had a really amazing day together on November 9th. And then she was moving across the world. She was moving across the country to New York, and this was set in California. So they decided not to be together, but they decided every November 9th they were going to meet up. And so it just follows literally that day every single time. So they decided to do it for 5 years, and then after 5 years, if they still wanted to be together, they would be together, and if they didn't, then they didn't. So much happens in this book. Big plot twist at the end. Amazing written book. I loved this book. It was so awesome. I loved every November 9th. I loved that you only saw into that one day. I thought it was such a good plot. So yeah, this one I gave it a 6 out of 5 stars, which, it's not even 5 out of 5. I don't know. I thought this was better than 5 stars. I loved it. I couldn't put it down. I thought about it every single day. If you're gonna read a Colleen Hoover book, this is another one that is so good in my opinion. These two, so amazing. I enjoyed them so much. So yeah, that's a little bit about what November 9th is about. It's less sad than Reminders of Him. I feel like this one's a little bit more happy, 90% of the book. Okay, moving on. The next book I read was The Unhoneymooners. This is by Christina Lauren. Guys, It got me into all the tropical vibes. I'm telling you, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be in Hawaii right now. It was set in Maui. Not really a great time to read this, to be honest with you. Like, I wanted to read this on the beach or something. This is such a good beach read. But yeah, this book, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. The characters in this book are so good. This is definitely a enemies to lover vibe. So if you love that plot line, this is it. Very happy, not a lot of deep stuff in this book. Maybe towards the end is there a little bit of something deep, but overall just a good feel-good read. It did take me longer to read than both of these books, so I feel like I enjoyed it. I just didn't think it was as like hooking, if you will. And it's like set on a honeymoon, and so it was really hard for me to like not think about our honeymoon the whole time. I was like, oh wait, we have to do this for the wedding, oh we have to do this for that, oh we have to do this. So I kept like stopping, like I'd read and then they'd say something about a wedding and I'd be like, oh our wedding, and I'd like lose track of what I was reading. That was the only thing. Anyway, it's about a twin sister. Her sister is getting married, and she and the brother of the groom go on the honeymoon because the bride and groom get sick and they cannot go. So they go together. They don't really like each other, so it's very enemies to lovers, obviously. So it's just a romance, feel-good, beachy vibe book. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I still really enjoyed it, but I didn't feel like it was a 5 out of 5. I don't know. It makes sense. Just was like a good feel-good read, but it didn't like make me go, oh my gosh, you know. That was book number 3. Sorry, I'm taking forever to talk about these books. Okay, the last book I read this month. I have no words. This book, it's so good. This is a thriller, and I've never read a thriller before. This book had me on the edge of my seat. I read this book faster than I think I've ever read a book in my life. I read it in 2 days, literally. Technically 3, but I only read 1 chapter the first day, which was like 2 pages, so that didn't even count. But I love this book. It's about a writer who is like on financial trouble. This husband of a best-selling author, Verity, hires her to complete the series because his wife is sick, or not sick, she's like unable to finish it because she got in an accident. She can't move, she can't write, she can't do anything, and a lot of weird stuff happens. She goes to their house, she looks through all the notes and outlines and like manuscripts and finds some dirt, and it's creepy, it's suspenseful, it's sad, it's like disturbing, and it's also has romance. So I loved this book. So good. Really made you think. And the ending, don't even get me started on the ending. There's huge plot twist in the ending, or like not even a plot twist, like a just makes you think ending. Like you just in the book and you're like, did I really just read that? Like I didn't need that ending. Like I was good with how it ended, but then you like ended it. I didn't like that. So yeah, if you want something that's gonna make you think and gonna make you sit on the edge of your seat, and literally I was physically sweating from this book, read Verity. I think this is my favorite Colleen Hoover book. I'm not even kidding you. Like hands down favorite one. This like romance wise, no. Like November 9th is way better, but thriller and like keeping you on the edge of your seat and like hooking you, this book is better. It's so good. It's so good. I 100% recommend reading this. So good. So yeah, that was my last book I read in January. Now let's go to our to-be-reads in February. So I have a few, and I also have ones I have not picked up yet. I might just like show you guys these ones, and then if I pick up more, then we'll put those in my March one. But oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So here are my to-be-reads for February. We're gonna start with what I'm currently reading because I don't think I'll finish it in January. I think I'll finish it in February, but Archer's Voice. I've heard so many good things about it. So far, pretty good. Nothing's like interesting has happened, so I'm like not really into it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's like she's getting this small town. Oh, I don't know a lot about it. She meets this guy named Archer, and her whole world tilts. It seems like he's kind of mysterious, Archer. So I'm not sure, but it's a romance book. Heard a lot of good things. If you've read this book, let me know. I've had so many people tell me to read this book, so I'll let you guys know how I like it, but they have told me over and over, read Archer's Voice. Like I did a poll even on like what I should read next, and everyone said Archer's. So it must be pretty good if like everyone says it's good. So yeah, I'm reading that. I'm so excited to get into it. But yeah, that's book number 1. The book that I'm gonna read next after this one is Love in Other Words. This is another Christina Lauren book, which is the same as The Unhoneymooners. I really did like the way she wrote. I thought it was very relatable and I just loved it. So this is what I'm gonna read next. I've heard a lot of good things. Like I've heard more good things about this than The Unhoneymooners. So I'm guessing this one's better. So I'm really excited. The cover is so cute. Like you can't tell me that's not the cutest cover ever. This gives me like cozy vibes. I don't know. I love it. It looks so cute. So this is what I'm gonna read next. It's about, I think it's like a second chance romance book. So like first love meeting again later in the future book. I'm so excited. I can't wait to read this. This is another romance. I'm all about the romance. Tell me. I'm telling you guys. But I do want to read Never Lie, which is another thriller book. I'm really into thriller now. So yeah, this is to be read number 2. The next one I'm gonna read is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I really don't know anything about this. I was at Target and they had this, so I was like, okay, might as well like pick up another Colleen Hoover book. I really enjoy all her other ones, so might as well read this one too. I'm gonna try to read like all of her books eventually. I wanna read all of her books just so I can like do a full Colleen Hoover review. That'd be kind of fun. So let me know if you've read Heartburns. Heartburns? I'm embarrassed. Heartbones. Bones. I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard this is good. I've heard this is not so good. So I'll let you guys know how I feel. It's another romance book, I think. So yeah, it's kind of set in Texas, which I'm representing. I love me some Texas. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this too. I don't know anything about it though, so don't ask me. And the last and final book I want to read is Beach Read. I have been avoiding this book. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've never read an Emily Henry book. I read the first chapter of this book and I was not in love. So I'm gonna try to give it another chance while I'm on my reading kick. I've heard it's good. I need to read it. I need to just go for it and read it. I think it's about like some authors and like I think it's polar opposite, so maybe it's Grumpy Sunshine. I don't know. I want to read this. I haven't gotten to it and I just haven't gravitated towards it because I'm just scared of not liking it. But yeah, I'm gonna try to read this again. Let me know if this is a good one. I want to read her Happy Place one too, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So this one, I need to do it. I need to read it. I think I've heard good things. I don't know. That first chapter didn't hook me and I was like, nope. So yeah, this is my last to be read of February. I don't think I'll be able to read more than 4 this next month because I'm going on vacation and there's like a lot going on and obviously it's a shorter month. Yeah, I've got so many more books I want to read, but I'm not gonna like bore you with just naming books that I want to read. So I'm gonna end the video here. I love you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe. If you're gonna read any of the books that I read out of all 4 of these, let's think. I would say read November 9th. I think this was my favorite. This one just made you feel good. Like it just was a feel good book. And I think the characters are my favorite. Like Ben. Was it Ben? I don't remember his name being Ben. Okay, Ben in this book, he is so amazing. Like the best book boyfriend ever. Yes, this is my favorite, I think. I didn't tell you what other stars I gave this. Sorry, I'm so sorry. This is a 5 out of 5 star. I didn't say that. 5 out of 5 stars on this one. Anyway, I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe and read a book. I'm telling you guys, it will change your life. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.